I'm a dreadhead without contrition. My head in comparison to the jungle. My roots are rooted into my movement, ordered brain to the core. My scalp is the surface, similar to the ground. My dreads are the vines that help Tarzan move around. My head is a synonym to a tree, specifically the coastal redwood. DL. Now it's time to fill y'all motherfucking cups all the way up. DL. Unedited edits be editing. Evolution equals diversity. What's the matter, bitch? I know that you envy me. Editorial fine, just make sure that you pristine. It's axiomatic that I'm a unicorn. Word of the day is birth, so that DL is born. The conjuring of the two is so that I am torn. Heaven or hell, or wrong and a right. I asseverate the left, and I chest the one on the right. My plan is to bombard the uni with diversity as I divulge with credo. The tenets that have been set forth has ran the cosmos dogma outdoors. If you have any iota of the galaxy's proximity, that would explain all the art forms that show great propinquity and causes deep contiguity. The universe inside of me, from a scale of 0, that's a number to infinity. The broad state of my brain is pumping out psychodynamics. I do a full house sweep and methodize my amperage. Just the glomerular sounds fascist. The juxtaposition of people, what I call tampered with. The vitriolic knowledge is dehumanizing and frolic. You sate yourself with villainous babble, satiated, unraveled. The world has surfeited me with all the commonalities. Psychedelics keep you from being jaded. Quote unquote, bitch, you faded. Overdose on the next trip and represent you didn't make it. I'm not benumbed, how are you numb? And no, I just won't call you dumb. Your lack of prudence is melancholy, the opposing factor of being jolly. My aptitude is driven by something voracious, stronger than fortitude. The answer is my passion that also translates mystique. Deja vu is not inaugural when imbued with life. You choose a faction over self, that's a poor penny price. When I go into semantics, I can't deny that I glute. And few others feel cloyed because I'm striking their roots. Sometimes when people choose to gorge, they can get Jemai's vu. Don't remember your whole life, I guess you call Presque View. You would think I'm psychosexual, how I be knocking the boots. I knocked the dust off that pussy when we got out of Serenity. I didn't have to ask questions just to know that you were feeling me. The most incumbent things are not always held in litigation. That's denoting inconsequential demonstration. If you didn't crawl with me, you're not going to ball with me. When you're a real leader, others follow, no talking needed, because they know that the guidance will uphold the leading. Can you peep my flamboyant clairvoyance or just a nuisance annoyance? View how the fakers are ordinance and the real ones are fortunate. Simplistic brains are in debt, they owe the universe steps. Casually learning the trends while others choose what is next. Focus is not of the exterior. Interior poise is what's stretched. People have dire thinking patterns. That's detrimental to health. Exhuming precedents of evidence and yet proceeding to fails. Gideon is befitting them. It is optimal for their hell. I'm sanguine along rotations, crossing my legs while turning pages, turning my ring in vacant stages. We live and we learn on due occasions, only to one day culminate and then to explode from being too great. I'm above board when creating, 3 hearts like an octopus. I'm beating fast while I'm racing. People don't really gauge why I move so cold. If it's any indication why my heart been froze. I was in an 18-wheeler sleeping on my clothes. I had to doze off in Walmart, there was nowhere to go. I was 18 years old, I had to go visit bro. Slept on the dining room chair that took the place of the flow. I had my own clothing line, hustled it off the flow. Still creating masterpieces in the booth, here I go. X and I was struggling, Irvin helped us to grow. He got the room for a week, I got us food, yeah for sure. He had it warm in the room, I like the AC for sure. Went back and forth on the temperature, almost turned into blows. I got sick, that's for certain. To the hospital I go. Thank you, mama, for obliging. That's how you row your damn boat. Preserving every life force keeps the family afloat. Flashback to 2007 when candy got stuck in my throat. I almost died from the source of the act of a choke. I thank her granny for her finger, pushed it down out my throat. Esophagus is all healed, not overwhelmed by that quote. The perpetuity of freedom, that's what I honor the most. I am a diverse juggernaut, no I don't mean to boast. I had to walk several miles in the dark with big loads. Around the time of daylight, I got a big lots basket, then start pushing my clothes. I was somewhat lethargic, nevertheless I don't fold. My brain is black as space night, I got a voucher as Vogue. I didn't have to matriculate in order to get results. Imposters are preposterous, legit is in the progresses. And be sinister with your priorities, deviation is orderly. Then how did you feeling really getting you down? Up and down smiley faces similar to a clown. I'm draped up and dripped out, you don't know what I'm talking about? My sobriety is excellent, my natural high is always evident. The bigotry of the enemies don't discriminate the bigamy. When I'm sitting down silent during a sailing, I say, wow, damn, that's big of me. Melanin and albinism different from erythrism. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, I'm certainly not lucism. Vitiligo equivalent to partial lucism, my mental plumage caused by a G-giggle. Xanthrochronism wasn't prominent in the gold age, being unconscionable confusions would only drive rage. Confucianism empirical, my authoritarianism is unmatched by other feelings. Taxis is always taxing while Uber saving you taxes. Cunas geographus, the venom has potential to help. Red pandas are arboreal, coons made up their field. Bitches thinking they're ready, although yet still asking questions. The men's job is to lead, the foundation needed was resting. Please step into my chambers, the definitive point of reason is the epiphany of us gaining. The quips and all the squibs is not a posit to the read. Ignoble when unremarkable, browsing jobs that's not in articles. Abrogating redresses, unprepossessing if netted. The tribulations of dead deeds pull you down from the weak knees. Reneging on the start, touting creations of art. See a piece of clothing, get nervous, by the size garments you would think of unearthing. The population of miscreants is what I call non-incumbent. Snubbing all of the foibles, that could only stymie the real dribbles. Eating something just to hold you over, how becoming is that? Only truly content when storing the fat. Since the world is turning, our brains should turn with it. I'm solo dolo with storming, don't have to turn with it. Dabblers are somehow similar to the actors. My prowess gon' get me revered till I shed tears. People be screaming in the dark as shadows are feared. I know all about the expression, fighting like cats and dogs. Imagine restraining and holding back at the same damn time. It's like holding up a pencil yet can't write no lines. A lot of people judgmental is because of their mental, not understanding circumstances or the differences in you. Throughout levelings, my wife is a Virgo. Contemptuous, I find it though. Imponderable if thou is not luctant. Build cerebral stairs to climb. Don't entertain the below swinging vines. I'm flush with ascendancy. Rectifying is a tendency. Amphigory could never be this. Even though this is a maxim, it's still pungent and crisp. A rigmarole is a description of life. A teacher said I have a steel cage mind. I'm already knowing, so that's validation twice. When others are critiquing, my cavalier ambience is proceeding. These sweet nothings I write are piquant. I am carping as I edit stamps, while balking anything other than finals. DL skills are endemic to the uni. My credit is shared. If I'm gray, I don't worry about gray hairs. Shape-shifting, somehow that's bending the rules. Begrudges the people ooze. Fledglings grovel. Experts boggle. My intent is not to incense people, only to elevate, if only you could relate. Art forms and motions submit so quotidian that they are hamstrung. The bigger picture eludes those who are stuck, lost, somewhere in them never founds. Only leads to talking in circles, redunculous rebuttals and dragging clouds down. Am I the real life? Look, dork, what's it to you? You asking sus questions as if you're ruder. By the way, duh, bitch, I'm the real life. You are remedial for asking something that's been justified. I don't go loco, bitch, I go shit for brains. You Dice by the sound of heartbeats. Before the Ben came. I'm the diverse juggernaut, that's Egoda. I'm some you can't tame. Yeah, it's die, an expedient turbulence filled with euphoria. This is life. Don't high five, go on them days where I just shrug guys. Diabolical pitch the damn world into the bad rise. The narrative is skewed, somehow unless you edit views. Take off your shoes, walk barefoot on the earth until this planet moves. If your screws are loose, I got the screwdriver that drives them screws grooves. I'm grooving right now as if my grooves do. You puffing the smoke while oxygen is new. Smelling good, yet the taste is alright. That's a form of catfish. The opposite of D. I give the world acupuncture with niceties. The superb surname put a tsunami in frames. My moxie is not for mocking, however the ethos rocking. Exhilarating when illustrating, pioneering the demonstrations. Insatiable, what can I say sensational? Permeating my competence. Warner Bros are not subpar to Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Both franchises are gallant. When you assume you make an ass out of you and me, that's your plummet. The avalanche is your burial like a seed. When I'm in my element, I'm fixated on imitating the apparatus of apparatuses, regimented in martial fashion. Tabulated, collocated, saturated, inculcated. The elixir bitch is pretentious faded. You can hate on bitch, so fuck how you rate it. Being Luddite is very flagrant, it diffuses foolery. So what do you have, a planet of limps? That plagues triage, rightfully so, to delegate all of your vibes. The rejuvenation is reverent, a montage of energetics. All the nincompoops have been hazed, exfoliating their phase, anointing them casually, yet still slaying their haves. They're grateful due to them being saved, accentuate when incinerating, the detriment of their past erased. That has caused me to be elated. I'm luminous when I'm limped, synovial I'm not limping. All of the struggles of life eventually become nothing, inadequate in a way that I'm humble. Virtually I'm redeemed, resolution was launder. Xander candor differs from taking gander. I don't disagree to agree, bitch you wrong, get on your knees. The Sharks, Cuban, Wonder, Lord, Dame, and others syndicate. It's similar to showing a property then closing the deal. That's what you call real estate. Preemptively pay a premium, then authenticate it with ransom, with the bars or the handle. I do the art forms gruesome, to know that I rule them, to glow whenever I soothe them. You ain't said none but a word. I'm winking, so bitch I'm flirting. All that talking during sex get old. I know the real. Reiteration is pointless and validation is veered. Knowing how to use what you have makes you a table shaker. Knowing how to stand on business make you an earthquaker. Volunteering in jury statements equals disparagement. Worthy of subpoenas, your appearance is in the streets. I got the gavel to hammer the verdict. That goal has been achieved. In quest of feelings of evocative, it differentiates from being wistful. Be limb as I am, the uni is unyielding, so I have to prep up to be ready for building. Sometimes the tongue expression is used as a security blanket, no hanky-panky shit. They say suit yourself, well I'm suited and booted, and I'm suited and rooted. Every true master knows every weapon or art is an extension of yourself, and nothing can part the item, not even death. Fit, faddle, skedaddle, I go on rants when I jackal. None other than passion is justification alone. Utilizing my cranial for the cranes of the Wong. I'm not rich like Bei Fong. The spirit I have is pine, top of the line to bottom line. Analogous to a fortune line. Aphoristic defines its mind. I'm jocular, not demur. I'm abdurate when I'm pure. Ferritin inflammatory hints, vacuous, that corroborates checkered. A cyborg to a human, it illustrates my point that the controversy digs has been set up from the jump. A question mark for every facet, silence to a hunch. Being remiss requires some to feel contrite. Consecrating your soul when you finally see light. A birdie whispered, although not in my ear, when you pray for the rain, you have to deal with the mud. Take the crookeds with the straights. Enduring pleasure with pain is the gauging of tug of war. That is genteel over drains. Life is like a tree growing up and sprouting leaves. Gel and Vaseline is dye life when it is cream. Rectify, okay, it's gene. Do you feel like you got the type of thumbs that's going to help you work in life? A medley has always been the proposition. The raft of art forms is impermeable. Collusions are laborious, seemingly scintillating. Sonically, I'm booming. HOV, yeah, I'm zooming. I have a knack for my niches. I beat the world with them switches, and then it's death with extensions. The old world order relentless. Diversity surpassed denting. Fathoming the coalesce could interpret the macabre. Irascible doesn't leave aphorism. Explanations are warranted for stigmatisms. Rough patches get patched up. Nobody is underwriting. Nobody was matched up. At the presence of Raj, she was feeded for good. Her parents are beatific. When on our grind, we are terrific. Progression can be plodding, if not running amok. Gleaning revenue is not all corrupt. One day my foes will beg for clemency. No, it's not tender. I do not give it up formally. Get down on your knees. It's not wise to try to fleece. Malapropism is a sign of being maladroit. The eponyms of the world is shared without a hoit. Some indulge in schadenfreude because the scarcity and empathy. The most aware people are those who don't be trying and never lead by surrendering. The volume of DL being raffish is a penance. The annexure is rather splendid, unless splinters don't want to splint it. Resplendent is what I am. My art is sumptuous glam. Respiratory discipline, breathing out of my innerness. If you're loathsome, then it's a must that despicable is cuffed. I empathize with arts that could never cry, with arts that could never die. Myelopathy causes myopathy. Don't get nervous or you could lose it. I'm not a Benedict, though I'm exclusive. Eloping is in the plan because being buttressed is our own doing. That bucket of lard and Yankee Candle probably keeps shit going. Who the hell are you to stop shit flowing? Don't just work for your job, make your job work for you. I heard have more sense than common, if only you could use it. I'm dot life, it's quintessential that I'm so skilled. My apex is somewhere that only I can find. Spending days, living life through the custom lines. Holes in my heart, I feel the voids just with the sparks. The uni is gargantuan, pick your poison wisely. Some people cannot handle it. Seemingly dead, although salubrious. I'm dot life, I'm not new to this. I heard the words, I see, I seen, I dreamt, I dream. My doubt, my life, I'm doubt, I'm life. DL, unedited edits be editing. Evolution equals diversity. What's the matter, bitch? I know that you envy me. Editorial fine, just make sure that you pristine.